When you're in the data room, what are some of the red flags that others who are interested in doing this maybe aren't looking for that you find and use often?
We're always direct to cap table and we're always fully integrated with management, with the C-suite. So a lot of that is in the data room, but a lot of that's also, it depends on the sector, depends on their economic models. But a lot of that you can get face to face. If I ask you a question and you answer an adjacent question, you think either I'm stupid or you don't know the answer, or you're hiding something. Like it can be nothing else. And so how they answer the question, do they answer it? Do they skirt around it? That really matters. Hey, how many robots are you guys producing this year? If you don't know the number, like there's a problem there. If you answer a different question about your production facility, there's a problem there. And so I think how someone answers the question, the degree of hesitation there matters. I think that a lot of the red flags we see is when I have to keep asking you for things that aren't in the data room, you're probably reluctant to show them, particularly financials. There's a lot of pro forma financials and games that are played there. When somebody joins the firm, there's a couple books that we make them read just so they can have a basic understanding of I like to hire folks that don't necessarily have a pure form venture background. I want them to be real operators or, to have a dimensionality that other venture players might not. I think venture is one where you can learn it if you've got like a rigorous background in something else, whether you're a scientist or an operator or whatever. So I give them those books, and there's some basic manipulation that you can see in a lot of pro forma accounting, which I think really matters. I also think that when someone says, hey, we're the Uber of X or the Airbnb of Y, no, you're not. Uber is the Uber of Ubering and taking cars from here to there. You are not that. Stop telling me that, because you're trying to anchor my perception on the most survivorship-biased focused firm that you think I will like. And I don't like that. I just want you to just give me the facts. That happens. Usually I'd say 99.99% of the time, I'm never the smartest guy in the room, but I'm certainly one of the most effective. And so I need you to answer my plain English questions as if I'm, 5 to 10 years old. And again, I do the same thing that I do for interviewing people. I peel back the onion. Okay, tell me about this. Tell me about this. And there's certain context clues within an interaction. If I email you, and I'm going to give you money that you need for your firm to work, how long does it take you to get back to me with the answer? That's a big deal, right? Because capital is the lifeblood, certainly of my firm, but it's the lifeblood of all firms. And if you're Bill Gates or Jeff Bezos or Elon Musk, you can raise money just by saying, hey, and everyone will just chuck it at you. You've earned that right because of your well-earned success for other people and yourself. If you're not that guy, you should be answering it quickly. So timing really matters as well. I ask questions about competition, see how they answer it. If you don't know your competition, I don't know what you're doing, frankly. And in the data room, you can see all of that. I found there's one founder where I asked him, I was like, oh, so tell me about the debt you have. Tell me about the interest rate and what you're thinking, right? What are you thinking there? Do you want to refi it? He didn't know they had debt because he was a new CEO, but he'd been there for 12 months. Surely you have debt, right? Even if it's de minimis, even if it's a legacy position that's 1% of your total capital stock. If you have it, right? Surely you've sat down with the CFO and poured over the books. And so I think it's more about the people there. One of my colleagues, she's one of the smartest people I've ever worked with. She does real background checks on people. She can understand, this person was fired for cause. Here's what the cause was. This person is incredible. Here's what they actually led. She's able to discern by talking to people and fact checking. Do you just have the polo shirt with the logo, or were you the girl or guy driving the deal? And so I think there's a lot of that goes into it. And then, in the data room, there's always something about the clients. You'll ask hey, let me talk to a client. You can verify the information. There's a lot of basic stuff. On the accounting side, there's a lot of rigorous kind of formulations. We build our own models. Sometimes we'll have folks that are experts in that sector. We'll contract them to make sure that they can triple check my work and our analysts' work, et cetera. But there's a lot that you have to do there. And that's why I think on-sites are valuable. If you're investing in something you don't know management, you've never been on site, sorry, what are you doing again? In a world with illiquidity in venture, you really need to be on it from a diligence perspective.